Welcome back to On the Line. I'm your host, Juan Roque. Of course, my partner in crime, the Rhino, Ryan Knowles. And Rhino, man, the last couple of weeks have just been crazy. You know, John Embry gets fired at Colorado, cries racism. You know, Jeff Tedford is fired from Cal, cries hippieism. Well, no, he didn't really.
The long-time coach, Jeff Tedford.
He gets shown the door.
Time.
You know, we got coaches bolting for more money and then turning around and dissing their old programs. I mean, Rhino, it's been a nutty
crazy
offseason so far.
Yeah, this is where kind of the news really picks up and where it gets hot and where it becomes fun to kind of watch. It becomes fun to watch. It becomes fun to watch the waiver wire, honestly. But starting with the Pac-12, I feel like Sonny Dykes is a really good hire for Cal. You know, sticking with that offensive guru. Sonny Dykes is one of the best offensive minds in the country. You know, look at what he did with that Louisiana Tech program. He's familiar with the Pac-12, being U of A's former offensive coordinator.
Probably hates U of A more than we do.
Yeah, exactly. He kind of butted heads with Mike Stoops there for a while, but for him to come in with that with that program and their history and what they've been able to do with talent there in the past. We'll see what he can do as far as recruiting goes and coaching up that talent, but we got to see what happens.
For our Devil's Digest friends, I like to call U of A Arizona University. It all started with Sonny Dykes when he used to like to thank Arizona University for the opportunity to work with Mike Stoops.
Sticking with Colorado, you talked about John Embry being shown the door. Nice guy, one of the good guys in the
maybe too nice.
Well, yeah, that was the problem. I mean, there's a place for good guys. It's called ESPN.
Yeah, pretty much.
So and then bringing in another good guy, one of the guys who is really coached up that San Jose State program, Mike McIntyre. We'll have to see what he can do because that Colorado job is kind of
keep going for the same guy. They keep going for the same type of guy.
Well, given their history with
but McCartney used to have them killing people. Then New Heisel out there. Then
Dan Hawkins.
Yeah.
So. I mean, it'll be interesting to see if he can turn around that program, but it might take a while. But now getting into the big stories, I mean, Brent Bielma, I think that was the most surprising. That was a major coup, leaving Wisconsin the way he did it. I mean, the guy is coming off a 3-11 win season.
What is it with Arkansas pulling this stuff with coaches of other teams? They did this with Petrino when they pulled him away from the Falcons. Now they do this thing with Bielma.
It didn't take that much to pull him away from the Falcons.
Well, exactly, but it's just you got to laugh at the irony here, Rhino.
Yeah,
and at the precedent this is twice now that Arkansas has gone somewhere else and pulled their coach to a lot of belly aching and
hopefully
people wondering what the heck happened.
Hopefully this will end in a better situation than Petrino did. I mean, this team really needs to turn around because John L. Smith, one of Petrino's former assistants, just did not get the job done this year with a team that really came in. There was a lot of distractions, but with Petrino leaving the way he did, for this team. For the expectations that were coming on them going into the season, for them to underperform the way they did, it was time for a change. And Brent Bielma, I think, is going to do a fantastic job.
Oh, without question. I mean, he was killing it at Wisconsin, and he's actually said that he's going to be in a better position because now he's going to have the purse strings open so he can hire the right assistants. That's a hell of an indictment on Wisconsin.
I think that was the main reason for him leaving. A lot of people want to talk about the money.
Indictment. Barry Alvarez was his mentor. Barry Alvarez handpicked him, and for him to basically say you were handcuffing me, and I couldn't get the guys.
I think Barry Alvarez was trying to coach from the AD's office.
That's probably true.
Because he wouldn't let Bielma hire the assistants that he wanted. That's one of the main reasons why I think he went to Arkansas. Because he's going to have his own. He's going to be able to hire his guys and bring in the guys that he wants. And then you want to talk about coups. I think Tommy Tuberville bolting Texas Tech the way he did, leaving those this just came out today that he left those recruits and his coaches at a restaurant. Well, then he was pitching them. And then, without a word, leaving and going and taking the Cincinnati job the next day. I mean,
lateral move, in my opinion. If not a step down.
That was kind of a weird move. I mean, but they had to since he had to do something. They had to make a splash with losing Butch Jones to Tennessee.
You almost said the other word.
So, losing Butch Jones to Tennessee the way they did, they needed to bring an impact. But Tommy Tuberville only being at Texas Tech for 2 years didn't do a whole lot there. So I want to see what he can do going into a lesser conference. Let's call it what it is in the Big
I think
East.
it's a lateral move or step down at best.
Yeah, but just the way he left, I think people criticize Todd Graham. I think
that stuff's been put to bed with Tuberville. And speaking of coaches that create stirs, Bobby Petrino.
Yep.
Western Kentucky. Is that the right hire? I think it is. He deserves a chance.
He's getting another shot.
Put it behind him. He screwed up.
He's getting another shot. I think he's going to be able to recruit and bring players into that program, and they're going to be able to be successful. How long he stays there remains to be
I give
seen.
it 2 years. And he was on ESPN the other morning,
we'll
and, you know, Mike and Mike were asking him some very tough questions. They were putting him on the spot, asking him, what would you tell recruits? How would you be able to overcome that image that you've already displayed because you basically disgraced yourself? And he actually, very classy, held it in style, very...
I think he had to learn how to be classy.
Absolutely,
over again.
and I think this situation, and like, you know, they asked him, "Are you put on a pedestal? Is this having to do with you having too much power?" He says, "No, I did the wrong thing.
Yeah.
I knowingly did the wrong thing." That to me shows, hey, at 51 years old, you could still learn a lesson and grow up, man. Right. And I wish him all the best at Western Kentucky. I really liked him when he was our quarterback.
Yeah, well, so I mean, yeah, and so we'll see what happens. But I like the hires of Gus Malzahn. You know, going to Auburn. And then, you know, a very underrated hire, I feel like, is going to be Willie Taggart going to South Florida in that wide open Big East Conference. So, I mean, definitely got to see how these coaches perform next season.
Yeah, and I'm sure there's going to be more coming when these bowl games get done. So that's going to do it for our coaching carousel section as we wrap up the 2012 season. Don't go away. When we get back, let's start talking about ASU again. Got a big game coming up, Rhino, against the Naval Academy. Annapolis will be coming to San Francisco to face Tempe. Don't go away.